Oh, those were the days. So chilly to beat the band, and it's a Tuesday morning. And around this time, Tuesdays, we have a segment called Good Policies. It's where Mike Barrett, together with his wife, who own Barrett Insurance Agency, will check in with us, and we talk about insurance and the crazy world it is. Mike, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I am well. Dorothy and Toto say hi. They whizzed by just a little while ago. That wind is good, huh?
Well, while we were checking the weather with Mark last hour, he was saying that the wind chill factor this morning, which wouldn't be cold on top of Mount Washington, was minus 80. Of course, it's been recorded colder than that, but we get about minus 10 here. Now, if I remember right, you're in Waterford. How cold were you guys?
Cold. I didn't get the temperature, but it was cold. And I got up this morning and sipping my cup of coffee, and Charlie looks at me like, "Dad, I got to go outside." I'm like, "Oh man, it's cold out there, buddy. So let's hurry up and do this, right?" So we go out, and I'm just kind of standing there, just had a couple of sips of coffee. And I'm looking, and I'm like, I can't leave my house today because a tree came down and was blocking my entire driveway. And we're not talking like a little tree, a little sapling or anything. We're talking, pretty good size. And that wasn't a whole tree, but it was pretty much half the darn thing blocking up my driveway. And, not a fun day to start the day, for a fun way to start the day. Knowing how cold it was, I had to layer up and go out and clear a path so we could leave our house today.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yes.
Okay, because I think I know where this is going, but first off, I want to know, do you guys have a fireplace or wood stove?
We have a fire pit, so guess what?
You got some firewood.
Oh man, I have tons of it, All the fallen trees. With COVID, I spent a tremendous amount of time just clearing out all the dead trees and fallen trees in my woods. So I'm going to have a heck of a fire season, that's for sure.
All right. So I know this is going to lead into the insurance industry, which we have talked about in the past. Let's roll with it, okay?
Absolutely. So that tree falling on my driveway, let's ask the question. Is it covered? Is it covered by my insurance? Do you want to know the answer to it? Yes. Yeah, it was. There's a little section of your homeowner policy. And I want to preface this, Jeff. This can vary ever so slightly from company to company. Some companies use ISO forms. Some companies use AAIS forms. I'm not going to get into the details of that, but there are some differences amongst them, okay? But let's talk about a common homeowner policy. There's this little section of your homeowner policy called Incidental Property Coverage. Kind of cool, all right? So incidental property coverage offers with it some enhancements of coverage that can help you in the event of certain types of loss. Let's give you an example. I'll get to my tree example momentarily, but the first one you'll see is they pay for direct physical loss to covered property that is moved from your property to prevent a loss from perils that are covered by your policy. So if you have to move something because of something that could occur that is going to be a covered loss, you could see coverage for that. They pay up to a $250 towing charge to move a covered mobile home that could be in danger of maybe like a forest fire or something like that. So, we're not talking great shakes here. You're not going to get rich, but certainly some things there that can help you. And among the many items on there, Jeff, is the cost for trees. Now, excluded things on your policy include trees and shrubberies in the ground. You don't have coverage for that, but they will pay to remove fallen trees which either A, cause damage to your covered property, which would either be your house, a detached structure, or your personal property, or one that obstructs access to a driveway on the insured premises. So in my case this morning, I would have had up to $500 to have somebody paid and come and remove that fallen tree for me, which is good because, let's think about it. I'm 45, so I'm not a spring chicken, but I'm relatively okay. And I have a chainsaw, so I was able to go out there and clear it myself in the frozen tundra. But there are many people out there who maybe not be able to do that. So to know that you would have some coverage to protect you through that incidental property coverage in your policy, not a bad thing to know about.
Now, I want to ask you this, okay? You're telling us that, things where, like happened to you this morning, a tree blocks your driveway or whatever, that'll be covered. But is this separate, above and beyond any damage it may do to a home, a swimming
Yeah.
pool, a car.
Yep. Yeah, all that coverage is going to be completely separate. This is a different limit, a different layer of coverage that would factor in completely away from any damage that needs to be repaired on any property that may fall on. So you would be fine in that regard. But, for those who would not be able to remove a fallen tree, and, this, in the grand scheme of trees, this was not a huge one, but it was a good size. Let's say it was a tree that it was beyond my ability to get rid of it, and it was preventing me from leaving my home or getting to my home. I could have filed a claim and had somebody come out and cut that thing up for me, which is pretty nice.
Okay, so that's good advice to share because not everybody lives in a village in our listening area. More folks often than not will live in more outlying areas. And let's use, for example, Sutton River Road. The trees are right tight along that. A lot of them are old trees. A lot of them are softwood, and they tend to come down. So this is great stuff. Now, if somebody wants to talk with you, Mike, more about this or any of their insurance coverage, how can they get in touch with you?
Sure, you can give us a call. It's a confusing world where you see on these homeowner policies they'll exclude trees, plants, shrubs, or lawns, but then they'll cover it for certain types of loss. So let's help you guys through the process. You can give us a call at 748-5224. You can visit us on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury and wave through the windows because we're still locked, but we are accepting in-office appointments, so you're more than welcome to come in and transact business if that's the easier way to do it. You can find us at our website for a free home and auto quote at thebarrettagency.com, Google, Facebook, and YouTube, all Barrett Insurance Agency.
Okay, now I know how old you are, Mike. Might I recommend today when you get home, when you get home from work or when you do finally sit down from work, a leave for your old man back?
Thanks, Jeff. I've already popped a couple, but thanks anyway.
All right, I was going to say, we've been friends for years. All right, Mike, have a great one. Good policies, great this morning. We'll chat with you next week.
Awesome. Be well and stay warm.
All righty. Again, we mentioned good policies, part of the Tuesday Morning Magic Morning Crew music.